Super 16 team number 5, the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes.
Head coach John Dara says Mount Carmel has 7 starters back on offense and 7 on D. The Tornadoes took out Southern Columbia in the regular season last year, but lost the rematch to the Tigers in the district title game. Mount Carmel lost linemen on both sides of the ball. The good news, the skill players around them return, like quarterback Cole Spears. Now they just have to build chemistry up front to run the football like they are known to do.
Guys on the line did gain some valuable experience last year. They've been running our system since they were in 7th grade here, so they pretty much know the ins and outs of it. So it's typically not a major transition when a kid has to go from, being a guy who's getting some reps to a starter.
I have faith in everybody on our team. We have linemen that are going to step up. I mean, we didn't lose everybody, so our senior leaders will carry us, and we'll have a great year.
Yes, it's back for another season, the Super 16 Sports Final. Valley View looking for revenge against Crestwood for a loss in the district championship game. Plus, Selinsgrove starting off the season with a huge test at home against Delaware Valley, trying to seal off the end zone. And the defending champ Southern Columbia, do these Tigers have enough bite left to take out Berwick?
What could be better than being at the Silver Bowl? Number 5, Mount Carmel area. Number 1, North Schuylkill. Are you ready for football? Are you ready for the Super 16 Sports Final?
The Super 16 Sports Final.
Ah, yes, the Friday night lights are on, and it's time to win 1 week at a time. Welcome to the Super 16 Sports Final. I'm Ron Snyder, excited to join you for my 2nd football season here. Just finished up the preseason countdown, but compliments and rankings, they don't win games this season. Just a chance to start something special, and this game certainly was special. North Schuylkill's Wally Hall fired up for the season opener against Mount Carmel. They lost this game last season. He says last year's team was missing player-led leaders to put them over the top, and seniors like Trevor Minolda have been working hard to make sure this time around the Spartans are ready to win. The top-ranked Spartans trying to get revenge on the road against Mount Carmel for last year's 25-17 loss. And right here, they're going to work. 4th and goal from the 5. Joey Flail is stopped inches short of a touchdown. The Mount Carmel defense not letting up on the goal line. Mount Carmel takes over on downs. Cole Spears up top, take it to him. Xavier Diaz, 87 yards. Rolling all the way in for the 87-yard touchdown to make it 6-0. North Schuylkill still in the first quarter. 4th and 2. This time Fails like, you can't deny me here. Ties the game up at 6. In the second quarter, Mount Carmel off an interception. Xavier Diaz trots in. Mount Carmel up 13-6. Later in the second quarter, 65 seconds left. Trevor Minolda pump fakes and connects with Joey Flail to tie the game up at 13. And then right before the half, Luke Blessing, big plays in the first game of the season. A 71-yard run to the 4-yard line. 2 plays later, they score. North Schuylkill, though, comes back to win 34-27. Our Jim Roth explains how they pulled it off.
A wild game. North Schuylkill number 1 in our countdown, down 14 early in the second half. Before I talk about your offense, talk about that defensive effort on a hot night.
Yeah, they did. They played tough. They went up. But it comes down. I can only think of we played terrible, we coached terrible, but my guys, they fought their way back, and that's why I love them.
What did you tell them at halftime? Because obviously you had opportunities early, couldn't convert, and then in that second half, you guys got going.
I said, you got 2 quarters left, you decide what you want to do with it, and that's all I said to them.
For a first game, says a lot about your team?
Says a lot. It's tough going to the first game. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of, a lot of mistakes that go on, so I'm proud of them. They persevered. They did what they had to do to get the win.
All right, enjoy your team.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Good game for Wally Hall and the Spartans, but there's much more. The Super 16 Sports Final dead ahead.
I'm Steve Lloyd from Newswatch 16 Sports with the game of the week, Mount Carmel and Dunmore. See if the Red Tornadoes can knock off the Bucks. Next on the Super 16 Sports Final.
Now we see where we've been, and it's week number 2. Thanks for watching the Super 16 Sports Final. Teams had a chance to make adjustments, and now they're trying to go out there in week number 2, figure out what worked in week 1 and perfect it. Dunmore looked good in week 1 in a win over Old Forge, but now the competition picks up. They're taking on a hungry Mount Carmel team, and let's go straight to the highlights. Great night for some football. Mount Carmel strikes first in the second quarter. Cole Spears connects with Chase Balikic and he gets one foot in for the touchdown, and then Spears again up top, take it to him. Xavier Diaz behind the defense, one of the fastest kids in the district, and he runs it in. They missed the extra point, though. Mount Carmel area up 13-0. Then Dunmore special teams, Danny Picca Jr. Oh, you'll know his name by the end of this highlight. The kickoff goes up the middle, and he is gone. Mama's putting that on the refrigerator. An 82-yard touchdown. The Bucks right back in this at 13-7 at the half. Third quarter, Mount Carmel picks up the tempo, and they spread it out. Xavier Diaz, and nobody is catching it. Him. There it is. There it goes. He's gone. 61 yards. Score 21-7 after the 2-point conversion. Red Tornadoes, the defense, they've got to have that too to be a playoff team. And 34-7 on the road. They pick up a critical win. Steve Lloyd has more on how they pulled it off.
Well, tempo very important for Coach Dara there in that second half. A big touchdown to extend the lead for the Red Tornadoes. And after a week 1 loss, Mount Carmel comes on the road and defeats Dunmore to move to 1-1 on the season.
Yeah, so we really been preaching, and we moved to having more one-way players. We asked some of our guys to even play 2 ways last year to buy into this, and it really showed in the second half. We were fresh. We were able to get our tempo going a little bit, and I think we wore them down in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Dara told us we have to win the perimeter and have great tempo, and I think we did. I was throwing screens, and my guys are making it look easy out there.
Where does this kind of set you up the rest of the season? Obviously, 2 tough opponents out of the gate.
Yeah, so we had 2 tough games. I think we're battle tested. Now we can go into the next few weeks knowing we have that great experience, knowing we got a W here. So it's just a great feeling.
Steve Lloyd, Newswatch 16 Sports, Dunmore.
Mount Carmel, number 8 against Milton. Both teams honoring Max Engel from Jersey Shore. First half action, we start. Milton has a 3rd and 8 Cole Bastion rolling out, and normally they teach you don't throw across your body, but when there is no one near you, you throw it. Montgomery Fisher wide open, touchdown Panthers. Extra point is no good, 6-0. Now it's the Red Tornadoes' turn. On the goal line, give it to the big man, Luke Blessing, breaks through the line, walks into the end zone. Mount Carmel takes the lead, but later in the half, 4th and 3 for Milton. Chris Doyle breaks a few tackles, and he's off to the races, reaches for the pylon, pushed just out of bounds at the 2, but that's no problem. 2 plays later, Bastion. Now, kids, this is why you don't skip leg day. Look at this. Never stops moving his feet and pushes his way across the pylon. Touchdown. No score in the second half for these teams. Milton upsets Mount Carmel 12-7.
That's a huge win for Milton right there.
Mount Carmel out in our top 10, hosting Bloomsburg, hoping to move back over the 500 mark. Opening drive for the Big Red, Luke Blessing. You gotta love the last name, right? Breaking tackles left and right through the gap, and he's gonna later stroll into the end zone. 7-0 Red Tornadoes. Ensuing possession for the Panthers. Wyatt Brocious to Brady Horan on the Michael Thomas signature. Slants only. Breaks free, but is caught down the sidelines in the red zone. That drive later ended in a blocked field goal. Now later in the quarter, you give it back to the Red Tornadoes. And Blessing, mama, there goes that man. Can I do this? What? Breaks multiple tackles down the sidelines, 53 yards, his second tutty of the night. Mount Carmel, a nice win, scoring big points over Bloomsburg, 69-20. Hosting Hughesville, Mount Carmel only 6 wins away from 900 total, Nick. Crazy stat. Second quarter down 20-7, 4th and 2 for the Spartans. They try the QB sneak with Tyler Wetzel, brotherly shove, tush push, whatever you want to call it. It fails, so you need to be like Jalen Hurts and squat 600 pounds. Mount Carmel takes over. The Red Tornadoes now threatening. Cole Spears decides to roll out and just takes it himself. And look at, he takes the hit like a complete champ. Didn't even phase them. Touchdown Tornadoes. They are rolling. 2-point conversion good, 20-7. Now with 10 seconds left in the half, Spartans at 4th and goal at the 2. Wetzel, he goes for the plane and fumbles it at the goal line. Costly turnover. No points for Hughesville before the half. Mount Carmel uses that momentum into the second half. They get the dub 54-14.
Carmel is back inside the top 10 after its 12-point victory Friday over Southern Columbia. The Tigers were giving up just over 7 points per game heading into that matchup, and the Red Tornadoes scored 28 in the first quarter. Junior running back Luke Blessing is practically a lock to rush for over 100 yards each game, and he ran for $146 along with 3 touchdowns. Cole Spears found Xavier Diaz 10 times for the most receptions in a game in school history. A dominant performance on Friday, but the team felt confident going into this matchup.
I think we just executed well. We've had some really good weeks of practice leading up to this. And, you know, at times we've done things good, at times we've been a little sloppy, but in this game we really just put it all together.
Definitely against a team of that caliber. I know that they've had a lot of success recently, but jumping out to a start like that definitely puts them on their heels during the game. And we just kept punching. We kept punching. Our guys made crazy plays, and we executed.
They probably came out, they didn't think we were going to come out. You know, every team, like, what was the average against them? Like 7 points a game against them. And us coming out scoring 28 in the first quarter, it was like, I was surprised myself. I didn't think we were going to come out that hot, but that was like the best game we ever came out to.
2 road games to close out the season for Mount Carmel this Friday against Schuylkill.
It's the last leg of the revenge tour. Southern Columbia already beat Danville and Loyalsock this season. The top-ranked Tigers trying to avenge last year's regular season loss to Mount Carmel. These two teams play twice a year usually. Mount Carmel's coach Don Jarrah says it might as well be the NFC East, right? Both coaches say there are not many surprises on the field in this one because these two teams know each other well in District 4. First quarter, no score. Mount Carmel. Luke Blessing. Always a blessing when he gets the ball. 26 yards. Down the far side, 7-0 Mount Carmel. He scored on the next touchdown to make it 14-0. And how about that Red Tornadoes passing offense? Cole Spears connects on the wide receiver screen to Xavier Diaz. Goes untouched, 44 yards, 21-0 Mount Carmel. But Southern Columbia trying to make something of it. They storm back in the second half. Loudon Murphy, 9-yard touchdown. Southern Columbia down 12, but 4 turnovers hurt them in this game. And the Mount Carmel passing game, they changed things up, passing the ball more. You know who it is, Xavier Diaz, 10 catches, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cole Spears, a career day with more than 300 yards passing. And Mount Carmel finding a way to win and knocking off the #1 team, 42-30, Mount Carmel over Southern Columbia.
The offense stepped up. I challenged them last week. I pretty much told them right to their faces that, you know, we're not playing up to our capability. We have great athletes. I told them that. And, you know, they showed out today. 28 points in the first quarter against a great defense. You know, props to them. They have a great thing going. And, you know, we didn't really care. We grinded at practice. We did everything. The line stepped up. Luke stepped up. Cole stepped up. Jalen stepped up. Xavier stepped up. Everybody. I can go down the list. Everybody stepped up.
Back last week, she was at the Pizza Bowl. It seems like Gianna Gali just loved these rivalry games. And this week, it's the Coal Bucket game between Mount Carmel and Shamokin, and that's where we bring her in now. Gianna?
Hey, Brett. Hey, Nick. These rivalry matchups, guys, they just hit different, and I've been loving them all season. It's so sad to see them end. Tonight was really a battle for the bucket. This rivalry has been going on for more than 60 years now, and picture this. Both the away and home stands packed to the gills. 2 teams winning records and above 60-degree weather with November 4 days away. Come on, that's an ideal high school rivalry game. The Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes at 7-2 on the season with 5 straight wins made their way to Kemp Memorial Stadium to battle the 5-4 Shamokin Indians. They came to defend this coal bucket right here filled with flowers. It's been there since 1995. From Mount Carmel, quarterback Cole Spears to running back, the running back we knew it would go to all night long, Luke Blessing, making it 6-0 for his team early in quarter 1. He's well over that 1,000-yard rushing mark this season, 16 touchdowns before this game. Earlier in the night when I spoke with Shamokin head coach Mark Persing, he talked about the confidence his youthful team would need to battle guys like Blessing and this Red Tornado team, and gosh, it was there with the freshman quarterback Logan Steele, small but mighty. He gets his team this touchdown to take the lead here, 7-6. Now pay attention to this next play. Number 4, it's the freshman quarterback on defense up against tight end Jacob Schultz as he's going to go ahead, reach and intercept it. Gaining so much momentum and confidence for this team, but Brett, Nick, even after a very close one, 14-12 at the half, Mount Carmel does get to keep this Coal Bucket trophy for the 28th year in a row with a 46-13 win.
What were we doing 28 years ago?
I'm about 2 years short of being born.
I was what? You were what, -5 years old? I think I was -6.
I wasn't even a thought at that point.
28.
Thanks, Gianna.
We almost don't even recognize Mount Carmel this year. They're defying the odds and switching things up, running the football. Forget that. They're throwing the football this year with Cole Spears. Good way to have multiple ways to win when you're a good football team. Spears and company, one last tune-up for the district playoffs, taking on Shamokin. Let's head to that Coal Bucket game. Mount Carmel taking on Shamokin. Shamokin has not won this game since 1995, but Mount Carmel trailing in the second half, picking it up at halftime. I don't know what they said at halftime because Xavier Diaz was ready, has the first down later in the drive. Luke Blessing let him know, 60-yard touchdown running through the defense. And Mount Carmel right back to the running game, this time making those adjustments at halftime. Xavier Diaz doing what he can. Luke Blessing, they've got a whole lot of weapons, and they've got this guy at quarterback, Cole Spears, doing what he can. So many weapons in the second half. Mount Carmel comes back to win this one, 46-13.
Mount Carmel area came into this game with 899 career wins. That is 6th in the country. One of those wins against Southern Columbia this season. The Tigers, meanwhile, have 6 consecutive state championships under their belt. What happens tonight? You'll find out next on the Super 16 Sports Final.
Mount Carmel switching to a spread offense in big games. Their talented quarterback, Cole Spears, the winning formula, he exploded. He helped his offense explode for 28 points in the first quarter to beat Southern Columbia in the regular season. They pulled that off last season, then fell short in the district playoffs, so the Red Tornadoes trying to flip the script in 2023 and win the second matchup as well. Southern Columbia 5-0 against Mount Carmel in the playoffs. First possession of the game. Blake Wise gives it up to Garrett Garcia. He does the rest of the work straight up the middle for the 31-yard touchdown. 7-0 Southern Columbia, his 21st touchdown of the season. Ensuing Mount Carmel drive, the handoff to Luke Blessing. Recovering from an ankle sprain, he fumbles the football. Isaac Carter recovers. That leads to this. Loudon Murphy from 7 yards out has the corner and the end zone. 14-0 Southern Columbia. But Mount Carmel not out of it yet with its passing game, but that's not how they drew it up. Intercepted. Right there, Loudon Murphy intercepts the pass, takes it back to the 10-yard line. Second quarter, the Tigers defense not letting up. They have 3 shutouts this season, and that's why Isaac Carter coming through in the backfield, and then Carter Madden takes it in to make it 36-0 Southern at the half. Dominating win for Southern. They get revenge, winning this one 43-0 to advance to play Troy.
So Southern Columbia rolls. Again, you look at the final score, you lose and give up 42 points against these guys, 43-0 Loudon. What was the difference? Because that first quarter was a big statement.
Yeah, I know we didn't have Isaac the first game, and it really, really impacted us. And I mean, he was here today, and his presence was felt. I don't know how many sacks he had, but it was a ridiculous amount. Everybody played sound on defense. Garrett played a great game. Don played a great game. Jake Hoy played a great game. Kyle had a great game. Everybody on defense had a good game.
All right, well, Isaac is here. He had 4 sacks in the first half, tackle for a loss on the reverse. To dictate like that defensively against your arch rival, is it kind of like a sense of deja vu what you guys did last year?
Yeah, a little bit. We came in fired up in this game because we knew we didn't give our best effort last game. It was just, we took it personal.
Loudon gets the big interception. You get the big fumble recovery after the early touchdown. And then it was like, I think you spent more time in the Mount Carmel backfield than the quarterback, Cole Spears. What's it like we can just worry about one thing, go?
Oh, it is nice. Defensive line is very easy. You don't really need to know too much. You just got to play your gap and get to the quarterback. That's pretty much all.
All right, buddy. Nice seeing you again. Isaac and Loudon getting it done. The whole team did. They move on to the District 4 championship game. Jim Coles, News Spot 16 Sports, Catawissa.